All right, we're going to do our second session now, which is we're going to actually add a little bit of value or shading or changing. And what I'm using in this one is my water pen. Since I used a water-based product with the charcoal, this one I'm going to use to kind of darken and fill my lines and go ahead and do a little bit of value study. I noticed in the last one I had my hand in the way for a lot of issues, so I'm going to try to keep that out of there. You'll notice as soon as I hit it with the water, I can get a nice, beautiful, dark, rich outline. What I like to do at this point is spend some time really in the framing. The idea of this design is to kind of work in the outside area. Now, I am on an easel so that you can see what's going on. You can do this on a table. And I am using just regular watercolor paper that you can pick up at Walmart. For those of you that are stuck at home, you probably don't even have watercolor paper, and you're not running out to Walmart, not anytime soon. So you can just use regular tag paper, and sometimes cardstock works. And you're probably going, well, I have nothing at home to work on. Guys, cereal boxes are amazing, and I kind of show you how to do some things with some makeup and with some other materials. So even if you don't have any art supplies, you can use something out of maybe your mom's makeup drawer. Not the expensive stuff, use the cheap stuff. All right, what I'm going to do now is just go ahead and shade. For those of you that have access to art supplies, these water soluble items are beautiful. The water pens allow you a lot of control that you wouldn't get with watercolor brushes. They have a really fine point, and they allow a lot of really nice movement, and you can shade pretty quickly. If you have water soluble color pencils, you'll find that they work really well with the water pens. And yes, most of your basic art supply stores have these. You're probably wondering if I'm ever going to erase this little ring around here. Absolutely not. I'm just going to leave it. Part of my sketching is that I leave and show all of my work, and it becomes a part of my piece. What I'm going to do again here is I'm just going to continue to develop those starting lines that I worked with, finding areas that would recede, and basically shading them quickly. Please, whatever you're working on, try not to stress too much about the drawing, because the whole point about the drawing is that it's loose and that it's yours. If we wanted photography at this point, we would, pull out the camera and take the picture. This idea is that we are sketching. Again, I'm going to spend a little more time in the background and not so much coloring the flower, because I want the flower to be in color. I just wanted to show you how to get the pen working, and then I'm going to show you how to add color with water-soluble crayons. The piece that I showed you earlier is a water-soluble crayon drawing. Let's get it in the frame, that'll help. It actually is just crayons that are watercolor in a stick. The brand that I like is right here. I'm plugging another product, okay? This one I happen to buy at a wonderful store here, Hobby Lobby, all right? But you can get them just about anywhere. Again, ordering them wouldn't be easy. There are water-soluble color pencils and other water-soluble products. This one works really well for me. And what I like to do, especially if I'm outside, is I don't even have to carry a watercolor set and a lot of watercolor. I just use my water pen. And you're probably going, well, you're using black, how do you clean it? Right here. I just squeeze a little bit, let a little water drop through, and I'll clean it right there on the tape or even on my board. This thing right here is just a simple hollow piece of wood that has a little prop at the back. You can actually get these already cut at the Lowe's or any hardware store. Real easy to work with. What I'm going to do now is just wet the end of the crayon. I don't color the crayon on the page. I put it on my pen, and then I will find where I want my deepest colors, and I'll kind of put those in first. Right, and then I'll come back in and kind of shade to the lighter colors. And the neat thing is, it is water soluble, so it'll pick up some of that black pencil that's already there. I keep calling it pencil, but it's a water soluble charcoal. And then I'm going to go ahead and put my designs in. And again, you'll see that you get these beautiful mark making. And again, I can fill. I try not to color in so much as I just brush. And I let the brush do a lot of things for me, almost like sumi painting. Again, load my color, work from an area that I know is going to be dark. Let it break. Let it be the textures in the petals. And you'll notice I use my wrist. And I just kind of go quick. And again, I like to use that term, get in it and get out of it. And try not to overwork it. When you overwork it, you kind of just, I don't know, what's the word for it? You just kind of make it look heavy. And that's the number one thing that most people do incorrectly. And notice I kind of use the side there for a big long brush. So I'm going to go ahead and finish kind of coloring this one. And I want to say color, but you'll notice I'm kind of stroking. And I'm not reloading. And by not reloading, the color's different every time. It gets that tonality that I'm looking for. I have the shade, and then it lightens. Because, of course, there's less material on it. So I can kind of get that center. And again, it's very direct. And direct just means that I'm not, going to layer this too much. What I put down is what I get. And that might be it for that flower as far as some of the colors. I can switch, and I don't want to vary too much. I'm not cleaning my brush. I'm just going to go ahead and switch to the more of a violet color. And by not cleaning my brush, I'm automatically mixing on the end. I'm not so nitpicky that my crayons can't have a little bit of contamination. In the art room, when I'm working with students, I try to keep them from contaminating supplies so the next group doesn't deal with it. But for my own, I actually like it because it gives me a new color that nobody else is going to have. And again, you can see how quick this goes. You gotta get you one of these. And again, that's gonna be too much the same. So in order to change it again, I like to just shift my colors, and I'm not cleaning. Again, these are my crayons, so I don't mind, and I'm not gonna have to share. So you can see that I'm kind of mixing the color right here on the end and getting that new kind of almost a pinky. Now, I'm a little limited and it's pretty close. Looks way too close, but I'll come back in and change. And I can come back in and change